Welcome, this is Tic Tac Toys and we're presenting our final report. This is Brittany, Danielle, Mel, Renee, Kim, and I'm Dabo, and this is Ty. For our final report, we'll talk about our simulation goals, our simulation strategies, execution of strategies, key takeaways, then our conclusion. Thank you.
So our goals were to grow morale by 80%, decrease turnover by less than 5%, be a people-oriented firm, as well as maintain a stable cost per unit. Our strategies to reach these goals were to fill 25% of the positions with female and minorities, allocate money to benefits every third quarter, focus on promoting rather than hiring externally, and increase training expenditure.
Our first strategy was to gain 25% of females within our workforce. We started, at the start of the simulation, we started with 13%, and we did end up reaching our goal of 25% of females in our workforce, so we're pretty happy with that. In terms of minorities, at the start of the simulation, we started at 10%. However, we didn't reach our lofty goal of 25%. We still hit 18 though, and it's above workforce average, so we're pretty happy with that.
So the second strategy that we had was in accordance with benefits. We wanted to increase benefits every third quarter to be above industry standards. As you can see from the two graphs, these were the first 4 quarters and the last 4 quarters. You can see that in our third quarters we were increasing. In our first quarter we actually did increase our eye and dental plan, so extended health coverage. In our third quarter we increased the incentive plan and an employee pension plan, as well as added an extra sick day. We did, however, increase the employee pension plan a little too high, so we did have to decrease that in quarter 4. And then in quarter 7, which was our third quarter, we added to tier 2 healthcare, as well as we had an additional sick day that we took.
So our third strategy was we learned to constantly hire from within our organization, and we constantly promoted within our company. We also learned that for our company to work well, we only hired brand new level 1 people, and all the other positions were constantly promoted. And last of all, we learned that in year 1 that we had to fill the positions that we had promoted within.
Our fourth strategy was trading. We combined 8 period spendings. So for new hires and promotions, we focused most of our money on that. That was $209,750 worth of our money. And then we focused as well on training and managers, which was only $170,000. And then for safety and accident prevention, we put $106,000, which allowed us to focus on a lot of the safety aspects. And then it also let us mitigate any accidents that were going to happen. And then we established and maintained a quality program and spent $125,000 on that.
So our highlights for the simulation were that we won the Employee of the Quarter award by the Health Institute within the simulation. We also prevented possible liability lawsuits by adding a zero tolerance policy against sexual assault or sexual harassment. And we established a job analysis program that helped us lay a strong foundation for our human resource functions. So my takeaway from this experience was being the team lead and being the one to advance the simulations. I struggled a little bit with communication in the first part of it, and I definitely learned that I had to coordinate with my other team members to make sure that the right plan of action was going in place all the way through.
So my key takeaway was the importance of adjusting to the special decisions that we had to make, so the situations as they arose, and budgeting accordingly for the situation.
So what I learned is that how important it is to do background research constantly, and in terms of knowing how to improve our practices in the next period.
I learned the importance of tailoring your HR goals to the company goals and values, because each company has different values that they focus on more, and as an HR representative, you should be able to tailor those as easily as possible.
Key takeaway I took away from the simulation was to make sure that we constantly mitigated the risks as they arose, not necessarily later on.
So my key takeaway from the simulation is it's important not to go over our allocated budget.
So in conclusion, 3 things that we need to especially note is that absenteeism decreased from 498 to 360, our morale increased by 39 units, and our accident rate also decreased quite a bit. In conclusion, this simulation was a success.